What's up guys, Mizzo Frizzo here, and welcome back for part 6 of my how to make a multiplayer FPS in Unreal Engine 5 tutorial series. Now this part is going to be not necessarily a longer one, but it is going to be, a little bit exhaustive because what we're going to do is we're going to create 3 subclasses of our first person character, a light, a medium, and a heavy build. I'm not necessarily going to go into setting up every single build, but I am going to show you how to set up the medium build and the light build and create their own skeletons and own animations so that you can customize each build with their own animations. So yeah, like I said, it's going to be sort of a little bit more exhaustive because I'm going to be figuring out 1 or 2 things that go into this as we go along, but we will get there in the end. And just before we get started, guys, a quick reminder that the first 150 people to contribute $10 via my Patreon, link is in the description, will get lifetime access to my Discord server, Mizzo's Dizzo, which is growing and growing every day. We've got about 30 members now, and it's really cool to see you guys coming together and discussing different topics and helping each other, fix bugs that you've found in my tutorials. It's growing every day, and it's a really cool place to hang out. I hope to see you there. And so, yeah, let me show you how to do this. Alrighty guys, so all I've done so far is I've downloaded some metahumans and added them to my project. I've downloaded Lena because I happen to know that she is short and underweight. And I've got obviously Trey, that's going to be my medium build, and then my heavy build is going to be Orla. And that's because I happen to know that Orla is overweight, but she still uses the metahuman base skeleton. You could use someone like Erno, but he's got a different skeleton, I believe, to Trey, and I just want to keep it to the metahuman base skeleton. So these 3, Lena, Orla, and Trey, I know use the metahuman base skeleton, so I can close bridge now, and the first thing I'm going to do is make copies of these character blueprints so that we can keep the originals for reference. So where I might put them is characters and mannequins. I'll store them with the first person blueprints here, so first person blueprints, and then I might make a new folder in here and call it characters, and I'm gonna drop my first person character blueprint in there and move it in there, and I will keep this folder open, bring up my metahumans folders, and I will copy Lena, drop Lena into the characters folder and copy here, and then do the same with Orla, drop Orla into the characters folder and copy here, and then again the same with Trey, drop it in there, copy here, and head on over to this characters folder. And I'm just gonna start with Trey because I've sort of already got animation set up for him, and I'm gonna rename this blueprint medium build, because Trey is going to be my medium build. Can go ahead and open this up. And the first thing I'm going to do is reparent this to the first person character. So I can go to the class settings here and parent class, find my first person character blueprint, reparent it to that. If we head to the blueprint here, what we need to do now is grab the body and drag it onto our third person body. And we can now delete the root. And if we hit compile, we should get this error down here with target. You can click on target, and this target here needs your TP body, whatever the parent of your body is. So we parented it to the TP body, it needs that one there. Compile, the error should go away. And then if we go back to the viewport, we can select the body, and we can zero out the location and the rotation. We can also select the TP body and search for visible and uncheck visible, We don't need to see him on this blueprint. And the next thing we'll need to do is retarget the animation blueprint for our TP body for this character. You can see my grooms are disappearing here. If you're using an older version, I believe this metahuman is from 5.2, and I've sort of brought him with me to 5.4. I'm just going to select the LOD sync here and change the forced LOD to LOD 0 so that his grooms don't disappear. And just before we retarget the animations, what we also need to do is select the body and everything under it. So I've just shift clicked body and feet to select everything here. And then we need to search for owner and check owner no C. This is obviously our third person body. And I'm going to compile and save, and I'm also going to hit save all. And now I want to retarget the animation blueprint for this. So let's go to our characters, mannequins, animations, and find our ABP mani that we use for our third person body. And let's create a new folder here. I'm just going to call it tray. And I'm going to right click on ABP mani and retarget animations. I'm going to select the skeletal mesh of tray, which is M tall normal weight body preview, M tall normal weight body preview, and then I'm going to Control A all of these assets, export animations, and I'm going to place that in the folder that I created. So it's characters, mannequins, animations, and tray. And I'm just going to give this prefix, I'll just put tray underscore there and export these. Export. This may take a moment. And now we have the animation blueprint and a bunch of animations here for our tray blueprint. So before we hit play, when we apply this animation blueprint and see a very, very weird bug, what I want to fix with you is the additive settings for the fall animation. Land, sorry, tray land. So this is an additive animation, but with the new retargeting tool, the additive settings do not carry across to this duplicated animation. So if we open up this land animation and we go to the asset details and look for additive settings, you'll see it says no additive. And I'm going to give you the settings that are on the mannequins land. So we just want to change this to local space, and this base pose type will be frame from this animation, and ref frame index will be 26, and that's all we have to do in here. This animation will work now. We can go to our medium build, select the body, and change the animation blueprint to our tray underscore ABP underscore mani. And he is animated just like that. Now we can test this out, see how it looks. I'm just going to play and edit it anyway. We're not even using that blueprint. We need to change what character we're using here. So pretty much everything important will be inherited from the first person character, and we can just go to our world settings over here. If you don't have this, just click window and find your world settings, and here in game mode override the selected game mode. We can override the pawn class here with our BP medium build. Sorry about that. We can hit play now, and it should look pretty much the same, except now obviously we've got a metahuman as our third person character. And there is one other thing we need to fix up here. So this looks okay. The pistol does look like it's attaching in the same spot, but actually that pistol will be attaching to the TP body, which is invisible on this blueprint. So we also need to go into our weapon component master. So main, props, weapons, weapon component master, and right here where it's not locally controlled and we attach to the TP body, the mannequin, we just need to drag off of this and get child component of index 0. It will be the first child of TP body, and that will be attaching to the metahuman now. And that metahuman skeleton should have all of the same sockets because we're already using that skeleton for the first person hands. And the other thing you want to think about is maybe tidying up and creating your own first person animations, but now you will be able to apply those same animations to your third person body. So right now you can see a slight difference in the animations actually. They're pretty close, but the one on the third person body has been retargeted onto the UE5 mannequin and then retargeted again onto the metahuman. But you can actually use the exact same animations. So where have I got? So Anim Starter Pack and Metahuman, and here's all the animations that we retargeted from the Anim Starter Pack to use as placeholders for our first person animation. And this idle pistol is the one that we were just seeing just now. So for example, if I were to find that animation blueprint in tray ABP Mani, and open this up, and I'm also just going to go back and find that MH idle pistol and have this one selected, and then go into the anim graph on my tray ABP Mani and pistol anims and base, and you'll see this is using tray UE5 idle pistol. So we just retargeted this one again, but you could set this one as your MH idle pistol, and then if you were to, for example, edit this MH idle pistol, so I'll just open this one up, and I'm just going to make a quick edit to this so that it's kind of glaringly obvious that it's been fixed, not fixed properly, but this is the animation that you saw with the pistol. And I will just remove that asset from ARB socket, and I will just add the pistol's A to this socket. Now I'm not gonna fix this completely and make it look really nice. Again, as I've said many times before, you would want to create your own animations, but I am just going to make that hand a little bit closer here, and upper arm, and bring this in. Like I said, this is not going to look great. I'm just bringing this hand in. Actually, I will just edit the right hand as well. I will just do this a little bit and bring this right hand a little bit closer and level this out. And then I'm just going to put that left hand there so you can see that the hands are actually together. And if I Control A the skeleton tree and keyframe everything and then save this and close this, if I hit play, you'll see it's playing that different animation now in first person. And if I go and have a look over here, you'll see he's also playing the same animation in third person. So you may want to, duplicate this animation and alter it for third person as opposed to first person. That's one way that you can sort of hack and make your first person animations look quite nice without, for example, the fingers on the front there being perfect, but it could look good in first person, and then you could make a sort of more detailed one, or a slightly hacky one in a different way to look good in third person. But and I'm just going to check that that landing animation is playing. That is playing just fine. Very nice. Okay. You know what, guys? I will go on and do another one of these metahumans, just in case there's issues with the arms in the retargeter or whatever. Let's also do the light build and get that one to work. So I am going to need an animations folder, so I will make one here for, I've, I've forgotten her name. What's the metahuman's name? Lena. So this will be Lena. And it is in first person blueprints and characters. I've got BP Lena. I'm going to rename this to BP Light Build. And open this up. I can reparent this to the first person character. So go to class settings here, parent class, find the BP first person character, and then drag the body onto TP body and delete the root. Hit compile, click target in the arrow down here, get the parent of the body, which is TP body. That should get rid of the error. Select the body, zero out the location and the rotation. We can select the TP body, search for visible, make this invisible, and I wonder what's happening with the LODs here. I am just going to select LOD sync and force it to 0. My computer can handle it. Yours may not. You may want to even, delete grooms or whatever. I'm going to select the body and everything under the body and search for owner. Owner no C. And obviously, if you're going to set up a whole nother character blueprint, you would need to do all of the steps with Blender and everything from, I believe it was part 2, to give you the arms and everything. Obviously I'm not going to go through and do all that again for another character, but people did express a desire for doing light, medium, and heavy builds, such as in the finals. And, this is essentially how you do it. We've got 3 character blueprints that will be children of the first person character, and they will basically operate just like the first person character. So all the changes that you make in there, the logic will be the same. You just have to set up the sockets and whatnot. And if you wanted to have different sockets on this character to, say, for example, Trey, you may need to duplicate the skeleton and replace the skeleton and have different sockets, or you could save offsets and stuff like that. But I'm not going to go into all of that. Obviously, there's only so much I can do in one tutorial series, but there is a problem here with the skeletal mesh asset is showing as none, and even if I close this and reopen it, I don't think it will show. So I may just need to restart my editor real quick. And now that my editor has restarted, I can browse to the body that this metahuman's using. I know I didn't necessarily need this, but here we are. I just wanted to be able to browse to this body so that I can open up the body, and I can also browse to the skeleton here and open up the skeleton, and you can see it is using the metahuman based skeleton there. And as I've mentioned before, the preview mesh here is very, very important. So I do wonder actually if there is only one metahuman based skeleton and it's the same for everyone. I do believe it is the same for everyone. So you may want to make duplicates of this and then replace the skeleton. Like you could duplicate this and make this metahuman underscore Lena. Let's see if I can get this to work. And I will duplicate this one again and call the other one Orla. And this metahuman based skeleton here I will call Trey, and that one will already be assigned to these guys. This is going to update references because, there's a bunch of references to this skeleton already. and then this will just allow you to it will allow you to do a couple of things. You'll be able to apply a skeletal mesh asset to each of these skeleton assets so that when you open them up, this one will show Aula's body, this one will show Lena's body, and you will also be able to adjust the sockets for each different character if you needed to do that. So the this body, which is Lena's, I remembered her name this time, I can browse to this one here, this body right here, and I can right click and go to skeleton, assign skeleton, and I will find the metahuman Lena skeleton right here and hit accept. And now this body, if I browse to the skeleton, will, it's still browsing to the tray skeleton. So I'm not sure if this will actually work. What if I close these and then I reopen this and browse to the skeleton again? See, it is browsing to metahuman Lena now, so that has worked. And here in the metahuman Lena, the preview mesh is the correct mesh. Whoops, I did not mean to unselect that. So yeah, you've got the correct mesh in here, and you can adjust the sockets and the animations and whatnot. So I'm not going to do that with Aula as well, but there you've seen just how to replace the skeleton. And now let's actually, I will just have a look at the medium build body and its skeleton. mTool normal weight body, browse to this one, metahuman tray, and the preview mesh here should be the mTool normal weight body preview, and apply that one to this asset. Nice. Now when you open this up, it will have his body. And we still need to retarget some animations for Lena and animate that blueprint. So let's go ahead and do that now. Characters, mannequins, animations, and here we have Lena's folder, and we will just retarget ABP many again, so we can right click on this and retarget animations. And actually, just before we do that, I want to make sure that I memorize which body she's using. So she's using female short underweight body, female short underweight body. Right click, retarget animations, and find female short underweight body. That one is Aula's female short underweight body preview. That's the one. Control A all of these, export animations, and characters, mannequins, animations, Lena. And let's give it the prefix Lena underscore, export, export. And again, we will need to fix that landing animation just before we apply this animation blueprint and give it a try. We need to find Lena land, open this up, and asset details, go to the additive settings, local space, frame from this animation, frame 26, save that, close that, and we've duplicated a lot of assets here, so it might be a good idea to hit save all every now and then. And then I'm just going to select Lena's ABP many, go to my light build, and make sure the body is selected and apply this asset to the body. This one has not worked, so we need to look at what's going on here, what's going on in Lena's animation blueprint. There is this extra set of arms which I find a little bit weird. I don't know what's going on there, but there is some animation on this underweight body. It should be applying here. Lena ABP many C. Strange. Let's try and apply some of these assets. So use animation asset, and it looks like there is none here that So it is not applying to this skeleton because we made the duplicate skeleton. This body is using a different skeleton. So we do need to, if we just right click on this and we assign skeleton, this should make all of the animations work. Find the Lena skeleton and apply it. And if we go to our light build now and use animation blueprint, Lena, that is still not working, and we don't have any assets here. I wonder if we do actually need to apply it to all of these. So you can actually filter for animation sequence in here and just make sure that you're only seeing animation sequences, and then Control A all of the animation sequences. And if you don't have this filter, just click this little drop down here and find animation sequence. And now I should be able to replace the skeleton on all of these animations as well to the metahuman Lena skeleton that we duplicated. And I'm going to hit save all again. And now if we go to our light build and use the animation blueprint, that's still not working. I might just try saving all and restarting my editor and see if that helps. Okay, so my editor's restarted and that animation blueprint seems to be working now. That sometimes, you know, you get some bugs in the engine, and restarting your editor can actually make all the difference. So what I might do, although we haven't got the Blender edited body for this character, I might just retarget the arms blueprint for her arms and set that up as well, and just have a look at how that works and you know what's required. I'm not going to go into detail with making this work for this build. I'm just sort of, you know, setting you off in the right direction. So the first person mesh, we can change this to our F, what is it? F underweight female short underweight body. That is her body. And it looks like the animation blueprint that we created is working for those, although it hasn't been retargeted, so you might see some pretty wild differences. And you will also not have separate animations to, you know, edit. So we will retarget those. I just need to find that first person animation blueprint. So that's here, first person arms animations meta. I might actually rename that meta folder to tray because that's what those were retargeted for. And I'll create a new folder in here, call it Lena, open up tray and retarget his animation blueprint. So retarget animations, and now that her skeleton has already changed, it should retarget properly all of the animations onto that duplicate skeleton that we made. F short underweight body preview, and select all of these, export animations, and find that folder, first person arms animations Lena, and we will give it a prefix Lena underscore just to differentiate all of those assets, and hit export. And now that all of those have retargeted, we can apply them to the arms here. So the animation blueprint here will be, it will be Lena underscore MH underscore first person underscore NMBP. And we don't really see any difference there, but you know that you'll have all those separate animations which you can then adjust. And I don't know if we can override the location that is inherited from the first person blueprint. Sorry, my editor is doing some work. So we can. This was at -20, I believe, and -150, but because she's so small, it's nowhere near the camera now. So let's try -100, -120, and that is about right. maybe 130. That will do for now, and we also want to obviously move this camera down, and you could just bring it down and line it up with about her shoulders, like so. But yeah, that should be pretty much it. We can try this character out, compile and save, and I might just hit save all once again. And then over here in the world settings tab, we can override the default class to the BP light build and give this a go. What do we got here? We're not using these animation blueprints, so these errors don't really matter to us. You can go in and you can delete those. I'm not sure if we actually will need them. But so here we have a light build. She has a different third person mesh. And here we go. The animations look pretty whack. The hand positions aren't really there, but all the functionality is there from the first person character, and our land animation is working properly. The height here is working properly. So what I might actually do is just drop some blueprints of the characters in. So I'm just going to browse to my BP medium build, and I'm going to put these guys over here, just so that we have a reference for their sort of height, and we can walk over to them and see how things look. And I'm going to chuck BP Aula out there, even though I haven't, set her up. Her scale is obviously there, and she doesn't look like much of a heavy build compared to the finals. You might just want to scale her up, make a big. You could even just duplicate another one like Trey and scale him up for a heavy build. But anyway, let's have a look how this looks. So height-wise, obviously we're sort of in line with her height, and he's a little bit bigger. And then, yeah, nice. And what we might do just before we wrap things up is see if we can change the maximum walk speed for these different builds. So the light build, I just want to make a little bit faster, so I'm going to select the character movement here and change the maximum walk speed. I'm going to change it to something crazy like 900 and see how that looks. And I also just want to, double check that that overrides properly and works across the server. So we do have a very high movement speed there, just like a light build in the finals. And that seems to be working fine across the server. We just want to try it on the server as well. If you're going to change the maximum walk speed at runtime, you need to do it on the server as well, or you get some really, you kind of get this rubber banding effect because the server will always win, even if the character's trying to, change their maximum walk speed. The server will try and sort of maintain it. Let's see how the assault rifle looks on her. Looks massive. Actually looks pretty cool. Tiny little chick with this massive assault rifle. That's pretty cool. Nice. And just for sort of contrast, we can see how the medium build plays. Yeah, much slower walk speed with that 600 walk speed. Nice. So that's basically it, guys. That's how you would set up different builds with a metahuman as the third person body. So now, obviously the animations need work, and you might want to optimize this by getting rid of some of the grooms, maybe, if your GPU can't handle it. But, mine can barely handle this as is. But yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. We've got a metahuman third person character with metahuman first person arms, and we've got weapons and replicated, particle effects. I think it's coming along really quite nicely. And just before we wrap it up, guys, I want to point out one other thing here, which is the difference in material on Lena's arms here, the first person arms versus her third person arms, and that's because when we created those arms for Trey in Blender, we had to apply that material to these arms, and it's inherited that material on these arms. So all you need to do is select the body, the third person body here, and then browse to the material of that body. Go back into your blueprint, select the first person arms, and then apply that material to the arms like so. I sort of didn't notice that the first time that sort of we hit play. I didn't notice the difference in material on the arms there. So yeah, if we hit play now, she will have the correct material on the hands there. Nice. Sweet. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and if you found this tutorial to be of any use or value whatsoever, please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.